to let's go back to this topic. Now, the cycle of abuse in a relationship, like I said, if you don't cut the umbilical cord of this cycle, it never ends. The cycle just continues. So how it starts? It starts with the aggression. Okay? It starts sometimes with aggression, it starts with irritation, it starts with these words that you would use that just says, Uti, you don't respect me, you have no regard for me, you have no value for me. And these are silent, words, and sometimes it's just the body language that says, Uguti, you know what, I don't really care much about you. Now, where then you'll know Uguti the abuse is there is when the persistent tension builds up. All right? The build up of this tension, it keeps coming. All right? It keeps coming and building up. And, regularly now you can see there's a tension that is coming, where you start saying, I do me, you do you, kind of, mentality. And you should know, Uguti, the abuse has started. All right. This tension builds now through the stress, beginning to create a pressure on a daily basis now in your daily lives, and you don't have a smooth life because of now this tension that is repetitively, coming up. All of a sudden now, instead of love, we're solving problems. We're solving problems. Now, the victim may attempt to reduce the tension by complying with the abuser. And the minute you comply with the abuser, then what you are doing is you think when you are reducing the tension, but guess what? You are now making the abuser to think, okay, it's fine, I've got a grip. Because the whole point of the abuser, they want to be in charge. They want to control the narrative of everything else. They want to control you, understand? So that is the first thing that will happen now. We'll have this tension that is building up and these conflicts that keep coming up all the time. If you're not fighting for food, you're fighting for kids, you're fighting for money, you're fighting for the phone, you're fighting for coming back home late. Like everything is just a trigger, smallest of things. And as a result, there will be someone ngesiphosa abathi ozobala iphaku. It starts draining, you start feeling tired. Just the thought of even engaging with this person, it just paralyzes you. You should know, Uguti, the tension is there. The tension is in. Now, the second phase of now this cycle of the abuse is now the abusive incidents themselves. All right? The abusive, because now we have this tension and we got into a point where we're saying, you know what, screw it, I don't care anymore. Whatever you do, whatever you say, and both of you now, you are in that state. Now the abuse kicks in. Remember, abuse is based on the tolerance of certain things, we escalate. So if I shout at you and you accept that and it's okay, you apologize, you do whatever, and because I've shouted. Next time, I know what shouting doesn't work because I've shouted at you before. Most likely you are numb to the shouting. Then I'm going to escalate it. I'm going to probably start swearing at you, not shout. Belittle you with words, and that will achieve the intended results. And then I'm going to upgrade it again. I'm going to now find something else. That's where now gradually I start now even becoming physical and so forth. So now the abuse incidents they start like now growing. The verbal abuse, the emotional abuse, the physical abuse, even the sexual abuse starts occurring. All right. This includes now acts of anger, intimidation, threats, the swearing, the pushing around, and depriving certain things, and so forth. Now the abuse has fully, gained momentum, financial abuse, and so forth. So what it does is now it starts at this point, because now it's also physical, it starts pressing you down. You feel like you can't breathe anymore, you can't take it anymore. And then the third part of the cycle is when now the abuser realizes that, in fact, they are causing harm. And this is what we call now honeymoon phase in toxicity. So it's a honeymoon, but within now this toxic environment. All right, we're still toxic, we're still abusive, but now we create a honeymoon. This is where now the abuser apologizes. They show some sort of remorse, and often they will beg you for the forgiveness and promise you everything, tell you they will never do it again. Some of them, they will blame circumstances, they will blame you, they will blame other forces, third part forces. They will blame conditions, like, no, since I haven't been working, or the stress at work, and so forth. They will apologize, they will show some level of remorse, and they will beg for that forgiveness. But you need to listen to asking for forgiveness, their apologies, and the remorse that they are showing. It's always linked to some sort of justification. They may shower you with now some sort of love. They start coming back home early. They buy you flowers. They take you out on dates, and they start doing all these things that they know and they knew all along that they're supposed to do them, but they were not doing them. Now they kept those things. They kept them for a day when they will be now asking for this forgiveness, because they knew. And remember, there's no abuser who would like to go and start a new relationship and start their abusive tendencies in a new relationship. So most of them, what they will do is they will beg you to stay because they found their punching bag in you. Okay? So, no, there's no right way of apologizing, Karabo. Apologizing for abusing you. There's no right way. The only right way to apologize for an abuse is a change in behavior, a complete change, not just a remorseful change. Okay? Not just because now I'm reacting to it. If I didn't cry, if I didn't push back, if I didn't pack my things and leave, if I didn't tell people about it, in most cases, they only apologize just because now it's, there is some sort of a reaction to it. So they will start showering you now with love, affection, and they will promise you that it will never happen. Remember, this is a cycle. All right. So you are now in this honeymoon phase, and now so thank you for the flowers. You're my favorite chocolate. That favorite chocolate ngulala kusha sucheme. They are just saying to you, you know what? Just chill while I'm, trying to get some more energy to abuse you even more. They're saying, let me get more energy to abuse you more. In the meantime, just eat the chocolate one. In the meantime, just watch these flowers that I'm getting for you. And then you get now to the fourth phase. Fourth phase now, this is the calm phase. The relationship enters a period of calm where the abuse stops or the abuse slows down. Okay? The abuse slows down because it never stops. To think about it, it never stops. I mean, there are people who will still abuse you on a protection order. I've had people coming for a session and say, yo, Pastor X, he's doing 1, 2, 3. And Atiba, I've got a protection order against him. And then I'm like, okay, so you're coming to me to complain about an abuse and unal protection order. Like, baushapile. But ladies lilona man sometimes yazi nisixhovisa inhlamba engazonyuka like liretsa ikare lorine ra hlanya now. No, you report it. Are you allowed to report these cases? You report any form of abuse. You report it. Like uze kum une blue eye and say yes unshapile, and then I ask a question, is it the first time? No, it's not the first time. Okay, when last did it happen? No, it happened this year, May, mid-May. Okay, and when it happened, what did you do? No, my family said I must go, or their family said I must go and open a protection order. Okay, and then no. Those ones are the other ones are difficult to prove. Yes, no, those ones are until you come and you report to someone has to know, because even if it's a financial abuse, emotional abuse, the easy one is physical and sexual abuse. The other ones are difficult to prove, but you need to talk to someone about them. You don't sit there and keep quiet. Now this lady says to me, now she's purple, guys, in the eye. It was the right one. Purple. And she says, no, mid-May, I opened the protection order. And I'm saying, and you're coming to me on a protection order. So I say to her, it's fine. I'll give you this session here today for free. But for now, let's use the time that is booked. Let's go to the police station to activate the protection order so that he must go to jail. Hey, guys, I'm sure you're smart enough. You can guess what happened. She refused. No, Pastor X, I think he's going to change. He's probably just going through a phase. And now if he gets arrested, I don't want him to have a criminal record. I don't want him, because if he has a criminal record, and then he will never be employed again and he won't be able to support our kids. Hey, man, yo, like I was defeated with a big D, a big D, defeated, like DD, defeated, like I didn't know what to do now, what to say now. You've got the protection order. They're beating the hell out of you. So what do you want to happen? You want to die, and then he goes to jail, and the very same kids you are protecting, they grow as hobos now, and without both parents, because the other one is dead. Another big D. Okay? D for dead. Because you got me D for defeated. So now they don't have parents. The other one is dead. The other one is in jail. So either way, you haven't solved the problem for the same kids you are trying to protect. You see, that's another problem. When you marry for financial reasons, then you will stay for financial gains. You marry for financial reasons, You will stay for financial gains. You'll stay for financial gains. All right? So, this is what happens now. This whole thing, it has moved from that honeymoon phase. This is now the relationship enters this period. He's very calm. He stops a little bit. And the abuser may continue to ask for forgiveness even at this phase. And he might make some positive gestures. But these tend to reduce, insincerity over time. They start to shrink. Manubonu ukuthi, why ingati? Why ingati? Why ingati this thing is catching up? Why ingati this thing is coming back? Now, from my experience, it normally lasts for 6 to 12 weeks, meaning that a month to 3 months max. A month. Hey, sometimes a month is long. Some guys, they are just experts at abusing you. Sometimes a month is long. But it takes about a month to 3 months of general, overall good behavior after the abuse. And then, guess what? We start the cycle from scratch. And then it just becomes that. It's just a wheel. And you are just in it. You are just in it.